Have you heard of a dice game called Pig? I hadn't either until recently, but when I did hear about it, I thought I must tell you all about what the game is all about. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pai. And today we're going to talk about a game called Pig. It's a game of dice, and it's a friend of mine called Ashok Jayaraman who first told me about it. He said he used to play this game a hell of a lot with his brother, and I had never heard of it, never played it. But as I heard about that game, I was fascinated. Here's how it goes. It's a bit of a modified version of book cricket, if you will. So you throw a pair of dice, and whatever it shows is the number of runs you score. And you keep throwing and you keep adding to your score. And there's a bonus if you get the same number on both the dice. So if you get 3 and 3, for example, you get not 6 but 12 runs. And you keep adding to your score. And here's the catch. If you throw 1 and 1, you're out. And your score gets reset to 0. You can, of course, choose to declare before you get that 1 and 1, and then it's the other person's turn to play. And so you play 5 innings, and at the end of it, whoever has the highest score is the winner. Okay? Sounds interesting, right? And now Ashok was then telling me how he and his brother would spend hours playing this game, and they'd be delighted as one of them would be playing and the score would go from 30 to 40, and then suddenly you get a 5 and 5 and you've got a 50 and you're getting close to 100, and you're so excited. You're so excited that you don't think of the fact that a 1 and 1 could be right round the corner. Okay? That thought never crosses your mind. And of course, inevitably, as you'd expect, the 1 and 1 comes and the score gets reset to 0. And when that happens, typically the person would say, "Oh, you know what? I was about to declare. I was about to give up. I had decided this would be my last throw of the dice." Interesting, isn't it? But when the going was good, it looked like, "Oh, I'm so skilled. Look at me. I can throw a 6 and 6 almost at will, and I'm going to get close to 100. That's what happens. And the thought that you could be close to a 1 and 1 never did occur. But of course, you would then be 0, you'd be disappointed, and the other person would then start to play. And of course, it's not like he'd be any wiser, right? He wouldn't have learned from your mistakes, because after all, most of us think mistakes are those things that other people make. Okay? As I thought about this game, it struck me that we all play a version of Pig in our lives, don't we? If you're in the stock market, for instance, we all feel so good when the market rises and share prices go up, and you start thinking, "Wow, I'm such a champ. I'm so good at picking stock." Okay? We forget that we only make money when we sell that stock. Okay? We are all a bit like that man who went and played in a casino. And if you've heard someone play for the first time and come out, he'll tell you, "Oh, at one stage, I was winning 15,000 rupees. At one stage. When I finished, I was broke." I think that's what happens to all of us in our lives. And maybe there's a lesson that Pig can teach us all about how we might want to live our lives. Success in our lives is not about being able to add to that score. It's about learning to call it quits. It's about learning to exit when you're on a high. That doesn't come easy. I think there's a lot we can learn from that game. For starters, remember, when the going is good, don't try and give too much credit to yourself. Don't try and think you're so skilled that you're getting it right. Second, I think set yourself a target. This is what I want to reach. And once I get there, I'm going to call it quits. Don't keep wanting more. Third, work to your target. Don't worry about what somebody else might be scoring. And of course, the biggest lesson, don't be greedy. Decide when is it that you want to call it quits. In our lives, we all tend to be greedy pigs, don't we? Did I say greedy pigs? That is when I figured I probably know why the game came to be called Pig. So pick up a pair of dice, throw it, and learn some useful life lessons for yourselves. And of course, maybe there's a lesson in this for all of us. So until next time, enjoy your chai, and yes, Don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe to the channel.